What's up, guys, and welcome to today's video, which I'm going to talk about how to build a 9-figure company or get a 9-figure valuation. So this to me makes the absolute most sense on how you can get your company to 9 figures. So what I've seen, and after talking to different wealthy individuals, is first off, let's just take big examples. You have like Uber, Netflix, these big companies. And one of the main things that I saw, or I continue to see at why these companies grow so fast is first, right, is virality / need. Okay? So the very first thing you notice in all those companies when you actually think about it is they grew with very little marketing effort, right? Because they built something that almost everyone on earth needed. It was mass market, and there was such a high demand for it that it just spread like wildfire with very little marketing effort, which means the profit goes up and the valuations go through the roof. And you'll see that a lot in Uber. You saw that in Netflix. You saw that in Airbnb. You've seen that across the board in different companies, but those are the biggest ones that come to mind. So can you get virality, right? Next thing is, do you have a market fit? So the other way I believe you could get there is maybe you don't have a product that's as viral, but it's very niche to a specific market. So for example, let's say you have a bunch of trainers you work with, right? And every single trainer that works online has to have some type of fulfillment system. And let's pretend that you get a lot of trainers in a service-based program where you're helping them build their business, and then you go and you're able to create an app or fulfillment that they can use, right? So, for example, something that you know right off the bat is that a lot of trainers use, that go online, is they use Trainerize or they use PT mode, right? And the reason for that is every single trainer who has online clients has to do some type of fulfillment, and they need a fulfillment system. And so what they've done is they're not necessarily viral, but they've come in and they've created a perfect market fit to where they cannot leave. As long as they have online clients, the only way that they'll leave is if they choose another option. There's no way that a trainer can have online clients, for example, and not have one of these things, the same way an online marketer cannot have an email service, right? And so the big benefit here is you don't want to go up directly against these companies. I don't think that would be a good idea. But if you were able to branch off and you have this group of PTs that maybe is working with you in a certain program, like myself actually, and then you create your own app, right, in your fulfillment, I believe with the perfect market fit, you could do that. I'm gonna give you one more example to kind of push home my point. And I have stuff in the works right now. Nothing is, jeez. Can't even talk.
Say it again. Blah, blah, blah.
I have things in the works right now, but nothing is off the ground, so I don't want to talk about those things yet. But someone that I think had a perfect example of this and took off the ground is actually Hyros with Alex Becker. So for those of you who don't know what Hyros is, essentially it's a Facebook ad software, right, where it helps track better. And he'd probably get mad at me for describing it that way, but we'll just say it's a Facebook ad tracking software. Now, for those of you who don't know about Alex, before he built Hyros, he sold a bunch of coaching and courses to different businesses, right? So he built up this massive market of coaches with different programs on Facebook ads, YouTube ads, growing online, scaling, team fulfillment, all that. So he grew this massive market, perfect product market fit, And now when he switched to Hyros, he goes, hey, look, Facebook isn't really good at tracking. I've actually created this tracking software, and all he had to do once he created this, beyond obviously making a great product, etc., is he just pushed that to the market that he already created. And I think that's super, super important because a lot of people, what they'll try to do is they try to come up with this slam dunk, home run, grand slam idea, but they don't have a market for it. And so if you think about it, this analogy, I think a lot of times this analogy actually pushes to an MLM analogy. So the way MLM works, and I'm not making that comparison because that's what I'm suggesting you do, I just want you to understand. The way MLM works is essentially one person buys, and then these people buy, and then these people buy, right? And that's essentially how it works. And then, you know, the way it's pitched is everyone's going to get rich, but doesn't necessarily happen. But with a perfect market fit, what ends up happening is if you have, so we'll just say P, perfect market fit, we'll just say PMF. If you have that, what ends up happening is if it's a good enough product and you have a share of that market, you can go to your customers for free, your already existing customers, you'll push your product, and then they will push the product for you, and then you get this massive scaling effect without doing a lot of marketing. And what I'm learning is that if I want to get to a 9-figure level and not an 8-figure level, that I'm gonna have to rely less on marketing. I think in internet marketing, you can bully your way to 8 figures by just putting your ads all over the place. But when you have a truly superior product, I think that is what can get you to 9 figures. I think that's what you have to do to get to 9 figures. And it's gonna be one of those two things. Either you're gonna create something that just has an absolute viral effect that everyone on earth can use, so it will spread like wildfire, or you think about something that you have a market for currently, so you already have a current business, or you're already doing something where you have customers, and you can give them something that they can never cancel. Right? And that's the key. I think giving them something they never cancel. And so, for example, I'm actually a customer of Hyros because I run a lot of Facebook ads and I need good tracking. And ultimately, that is someone I knew before. I went right into it. And now because I use it and it's pretty good product, I'm probably never going to switch. I'm probably never going to cancel unless I stop using Facebook ads, which is why that company has grown to, I think, about 20 million a year and already has a $100 million plus valuation, right? So I hope you guys found that informative in today's video. Be on the lookout. I'm actually starting some softwares that I think will hit that effect. Make sure you subscribe and then check out one of the other 2 videos that you'll see on the left or right hand side of the screen. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.